Where we last left our heroes, Nara the Drow Sorceress, Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, and Danir the Catman Wizard found themselves stranded in a realm of eldritch horror after suffering the kidnapping of their longtime companion Asmo by demonic forces attacking the elven city of Lone Athroned. While gathering their senses and trying to make heads or tails of their destination following the Exodus ritual at the hands of the god of magic Arcanos, they found themselves being hunted by a group of mind flayers. In an effort to find a safe place to hide, the party was chased by a flood of intellect devourers through a foggy valley, eventually finding safety in a cavern the monstrous little brains refused to follow. Though surrounded by an ominous feeling and bodies of fallen and petrified mind flayers, they took what time they could to get some rest. On his watch, Danir decided to attempt to shoot a message to Arcanos, hoping he too would have found himself stranded in the void. The response came from an older man than Arcanos that they had met, and had seemingly adopted a new name from the void, Tommen Epombus. So Danir, after a brief conversation with the god formerly known as Arcanos, you find yourself, along with the sleeping/resting Wolfgang and Nara, in this Geigeryan hellscape building.
So you think that the egg is the key for us getting out of here, huh?
I think it's possible, he says, kind of eyeing the egg of the Chronosaur still nestled in Nara's papoose as she snuggles it in her rest. It seems to hold energies that this place just doesn't have. Time being a very particular signature.
I've noticed that I tried to get in contact with somebody on a different plane and it didn't seem to connect for some reason.
Yes. That's the problem with the void, I suppose. It's possible to get into nearly any world from here, but it's so separated that the tears in reality required, well, it takes even more energy than usual to get through.
So you're thinking perhaps we use the Chronosaur egg to kind of create one of these tears in reality through manner of time? Or do you think more of a gateway?
I think it's possible to use as a conduit at the very least. Has anything tried to take it since you've gotten here?
Yes. I believe there was when we were hiding from the squid faces, a tentacle tried to take it. When we were hiding under a tree, I believe.
He gets kind of a thoughtful look on his face. They do look a bit like squids. Huh. I won't be able to unsee that now.
Then it gives a little bit of a chuckle. I've only faced them once before, and I'm fairly sure I've already told you the story, but it was a terrifying experience. Especially if they get those tentacles wrapped around your head.
Yes, they've tried their fair share of times. None availed, of course, I think. I don't know, still a few gaps in my memory.
Well, if they did, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be here. So, there's a bit of positivity for you.
Possibly, hard to say. This realm is full of maddening entities. Beings older than maybe even the concept of time itself.
That's a little bit concerning. How many worlds have you been to?
He starts thinking. A few dozen at least. stick around for a while. It took me a while when I went to my first one, the first one I visited. It took me a while to figure out how to leave. But you'd eventually get a hang for it, and unfortunately, eventually I popped up here, and well, without time, none of my tricks seem to work. Can't exactly manipulate space and time if one of the pieces is missing, of course.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I've spent my time here hunting for any of those little tears that the Elder Brains decide to rip open. Unfortunately, they're so few and far between, and very short-lived for the most part.
Yeah, we've only come across one, and we managed to push them back and, seal it off as best we could.
Nara and Wolfgang, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Nara with advantage.
Okay. Oop, hang on one sec.
No worries.
What? 13 or 19.
10.
Nara, you're a bit of a light sleeper, as you don't technically really sleep. You can slowly kind of like shaking you from your trance. Denier is conversing with somebody in plain common tongue.
She'll get up, arms still wrapped around the egg, and walk over to the group.
As you kind of shuffle awake, leaning up, you see that Denier is talking to a kind of a platinum blonde, white-haired man. Hair fairly long, kind of wild. Looks to be in about his 30s. A bit of stubble kind of like crawls across the side of his face in what would look to be the pattern of a beard that would not look very good fully grown out. Oh.
Well, this is Tommen, right? Tommen Pombos?
It looks like him if he were much, much younger, maybe, to your eye.
Okay. Got it.
Huh. Well, there they are, waking up. Hello there.
Hello. You look familiar.
As do you. He's kind of like squinting towards you. I am terrible with names.
I'm Nara.
Kind of looks up to the corner, trying to place the name. It's familiar from must have been a very long time ago. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Pretty sure we've met before.
Possible.
I think.
He holds out his hand. Tommen Ipombus, or as they pronounce it here, Tommen Ipombus.
Okay.
She seems completely unfazed by the void pronunciation. Shakes his hand, kind of like nodding.
Sure. You're the bar guy, right?
Bar guy.
Yeah, you have the bar?
Nah,
The weasel thing?
don't worry about it. You know how it is, Tom. You know how everybody here hates spoilers.
I do, and I'm very excited to figure this one out.
What?
He's further along in the timeline than we are, but he's not quite who you think he is yet.
It seems you may have met another version of me. Somebody further along in my timeline, or one of my timelines. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Nara like squints like she just smelled something really gross and is just like,
This? Wait. You... Huh?
So let me put it to you like this.
He kind of points to you. Exactly.
Tom
she's pointing at
knows-
him and then turns to Denier.
Tom knows me as Psalm. And apparently I've told him many, many times, don't go to the void for very specific reasons. He's asked what happens if I go to the void. And I told him, well, you'd probably find me there. So my guess is he's either met a different version of us or he's further along in time than we are right now. You remember back in the Mist how we met the Archfey of Fall, and
Yeah.
time was really weird there. Think of just this as a continuation of that. We're meeting him out of time.
Okay, I was starting to think of how Solomon had taken bodies and turned them into new things. So, maybe he was a new version of an old body or something. I don't know.
At this point, during the conversation you were having with Dunir there, he was kind of like moving down to about chest level, examining the egg in the papoose that you're holding. As soon as you said the name, as soon as you said the name Solomon, a kind of look flashed across his face. Solomon.
Mitternacht, Undeath, God guy.
It rings a bell, but I'm not sure why. Fascinating.
Dark skin, galaxy in the eyes, white hair, very imposing.
Constantly burning from the inside.
I can see who you're talking about, yes.
So the biggest thing that I think that we need to talk about right now, Nara, is Tom thinks he has a way out. We're not alone in the cave. And most importantly, if we meet what it is inside of this cave, do not under any circumstance ask for its name.
Why? What's his name?
He doesn't know anymore.
What?
And if he... Apparently there's there's a keeper of secrets somewhere in here. You can play a game with them and he'll either give you or take knowledge from you. And I'm guessing Blinky back there is played a game with it, lost his name, and now if we ask him its name, it's going to get really mad at us, and I don't want this thing to be mad at us.
So we just have to kill it first.
Always a possibility, of course, yes. But
just don't ask its name.
It's possible we could find some information from him, assuming he's here for a particular reason.
Is he embarrassed about his name? Or are they embarrassed about their name? Is it like Markle?
No. Horribly, and they're horribly paranoid as well.
Huh. Okay.
Of course, he doesn't know the name, which means, funny enough, he also doesn't know how he lost it, and... That's what you get when you travel around a realm filled of elder gods of madness.
Yeah, this place is, fun?
It can be, although it's definitely outstayed its welcome.
Huh.
Either way, I think you might have a piece of our puzzle right there. He says, kind of like caressing his hand around the side of the egg, which jiggles a little when he touches it. Woo!
He immediately smacks his hand off of it.
He backs his hand off. Seems like it's getting closer to hatching, although its properties make that probably more of a cycle.
What are you talking about?
The temporal energy it gives off. Looks like it's absorbed quite a bit of... What did you call it? Time juice?
Yeah, sure. Time juice.
Quite a bit of time juice.
So, what happens once it hatches? We've had this thing for, like, a while now. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't hatched.
How long is a while?
I don't know.
Wonderful.
We were kind of in this time thing that was, like, time goes forward and forward more and sometimes back. So I'm not really sure how long it's been. But like a while, I think. Couple
Well,
months.
If it was in an environment like that, then I'm sure the egg itself is just as chronally confused.
Hmm.
The way I heard it, it was fully grown before it became an egg.
Correct. Little ass was very big.
Little ass. I like it. Wonderful
Lil.
name. Lil?
Lil.
Lil ass.
Yes.
She like blinks very sagely.
It had a penchant of consuming what I can only describe as liquid time. So we trapped it inside of the pool of liquid time with a wall of force on top of it and drowned it until it turned back into an egg.
And now it waits to return. Well, once it decides to, whatever remains inside of that egg will be a key factor in our grand escape from this realm. But I feel like we're missing a few pieces. At least some form of information that the Elder Brains might hold.
That's going to be tricky.
Wolfgang, at this point, the conversation has been going to the point that you're alert enough that you realize that there's like no combat happening, but you are now aware that there are people talking in the room with you.
Sort of gets up, cracks his back. Oh, don't like sleeping on rocks. Ugh.
Agreed.
He
Horribly stale experience.
just looks up and blinks. Tom?
Oh. Seems Hello. My reputation precedes me.
You're
Different Tom.
You can like see the clockwork trying to go in Wolfgang's brain. He just shakes his head. Right. What are you doing here?
Same as you. I was traveling around the multiverse and I got trapped.
He just sort of closes his eyes and looks, tilts his head down to the floor. Good. So we're all stuck here then.
Yes, but it would seem that you have brought the key to our escape with you. At least one of them.
That being...
He gestures towards the egg in Nara's papoose. This little baby right here. Little Az.
S.
Ass. Sorry, pronunciations. It's been so long since I've gotten to speak this tongue.
Wolfgang just has a look on his face like he's just in disbelief.
I nearly forgot it once.
Thankfully you didn't.
Would be quite awkward now.
Alright, so we've got a way out of here. With
Part of
the
a way out of here,
egg.
yes.
Part of a way out of here, of course. Right. So, what do we need to do to make it a full of a way out of here?
Well, for the longest time here, being a land outside of time makes it kind of difficult to gauge the passage, but I've been trying to study the arcane workings of the elder creatures that seem to control the minds of the lesser, points towards near squid-faced drones. Unfortunately, it's not exactly my expertise, but if we could wrench some of the information from them and figure out exactly how they maintain the portals that they do when they do open, we can use the temporal energy from the egg to sustain a portal of our own, thus escaping.
How are we going to get that information? These creatures aren't necessarily friendly to us.
Oh no, certainly not. Very hostile.
We've noticed. So I parse the question again. How are we going to get this information?
They do have a connection with the realm of dreams. That may be some avenue of approach.
Tom points to Denier. That is one way, yes. The other way may lie in this place you have chosen. See, its inhabitant isn't exactly a fan of the other creatures. It's wildly jealous and wants out just as much as any of us. Maybe even more. I don't know. Very hard to read.
So, this thing can be reasoned with?
Probably not. But possibly.
Great. Great. Well, we gotta get out of here somewhere. Somehow. What are we thinking?
Well, if we do interact with it, the first thing that we need to make sure that we do not do is ask for its name in any way, shape, or form.
It's very sensitive.
It lost it to the Keeper of Secrets.
Oh.
And apparently, if we ask, it'll think we stole it, and it'll get very, very angry.
It's very paranoid and very quick to jump to conclusions.
Know a few people like that? Right. So no names. Is that what we're leaning towards then? Talking to this
I call him
paranoid.
Blinky. I call him Blinky.
Should we call him Blinky?
Probably not.
I mean,
No
Call
names.
Blinky.
He blinks a lot.
Are his eyes dry?
Maybe.
what languages does he speak? Like, is there a way for us to actively communicate with him?
He's studied the portals that he's been able to find, none of which has been able to suitably transport him, but by listening, he has developed aside, of course, from the natural speeching inclinations of the given populace, he has developed a certain speech pattern that's derivative of the common tongue. One might call it undercommon.
Looks at Nara and Wolfgang. That's not one that I have. How about you two?
Not me.
Oh, I speak that, yes.
Then you might have to be our translator.
Or Blinky.
Yes. Because it's either deal with him or we deal with the squid faces.
He just has a very pained expression on his face when he hears that.
She like steeples her fingers together and looks up.
I'm going to say this with a modicum of self-awareness. Negotiations are not my strong suit. And I just hate to be the reason that you all get murdered.
I'll say this. If the worst case should happen, stand somewhere behind me.
Okay, great.
I mean, I already know what I need to do if things go bad. He glances over at Tom.
He looks back at you.
Apparently, I'm supposed to stay within his sight. Do
Yes.
not leave his sight ever.
Well,
If
of his biggest eye, anyway.
Yeah.
What do you mean, biggest eye?
He has a few.
How many is a few?
It starts kind of mentally counting. 11, I think?
It's a different reason than dry eyes to blink a lot, Tom.
Can I go through my book and see if that matches any descriptions of any monsters that either me or my ancestors have heard of?
Arcane or nature.
They're both the same, so I'll go with arcane.
Tanara, he basically just goes...
Soft 20.
You start scrolling through your book. I'll give you your information in a moment. Yes, of course there are multiple reasons why I could be blinking, but they could be dry. I'd have no idea. And as you're flipping through your book, you find in one of the older pages, very yellowed with very little information, it says, "Beware the beholder," and its penitent glares. Its eyes have the ability to cause many forms of destruction on those who would be of those who would be within their gaze.
And Wolfgang mutters it under his breath. Beholder.
What's a boulder?
Supposedly this thing that we're all talking about. It's a beholder.
What does it look like?
I just show them the entry.
He holds up the book, and this kind of very old pen and ink quill sketch of what looks to be a meatball with tentacles coming off of it. Each at the end of each of those tendrils is a eyeball, and at the very center of its face is one large eye above a mouth lined with razor-sharp teeth.
It's cute.
You say so. This is a very old entry.
Well, yeah, but what if Blinky could be Lil Ass's big brother?
Are you suggesting taking him for a pet?
Yes.
I don't.
Tom actually seems to kind of chuckle to himself.
Nara is giant smile, wide-eyed, staring open-mouthed at Wolfgang. Like, come on, you'd know, Mr. Magic Bookman.
There's just white noise going through Wolfgang's head right now. Like a flashbang just went off.
I'm just trying to picture where you'd put the leash. Tom says, continuing to chuckle to himself.
Blinky would be well trained. I wouldn't need a leash.
Oh, I have to hear his response to that.
Daenerys flipping through his spell book. He's coming up with a game plan.
If there is anything you want to run by Tom, feel free.
So, I've got a few ideas. So, Tom, the destruction that these eyes cause.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does it work? Does it just look at you and then blam, or how does it cast its magic?
The eye stalks themselves, they don't seem to be... You can't really stop them from firing, but they cannot fire into spaces that are, let's say, anti-arcane, like an anti-magical field. They will dissipate on entry.
Which is the big eye that you were talking about.
Yes, it does not like when I cast magic, so it makes sure I cannot. It's a little stalemate we end up in, usually.
What if it can't see you?
I suppose that would also be an issue, wouldn't it? It would probably fire blindly at that point.
Interesting. Looking around, what if it tries to use its big eye on, say, an area and you're behind cover? Will it still negate your magic?
Reading. I think the field itself works around, like, it works as a sort of anti-magical radiation, if that makes sense.
Okay. So cover would not protect, at least for the big eye, but we want to be in the big eye. I think I might have an idea. Worst case scenario, I can make it not see us. And then it's just up to us to dodge. And depending on what kind of destruction it causes, I might be able to, at least for me, try to block a lot of that damage. Depending on what kind of damage it is. Or mitigate it. If it's elemental, I might be able to mitigate it. If it's other types, I might be able to negate it entirely.
So, you've been around Blinky a couple times now, right, Tom?
We've crossed paths, yes.
Blinky have any, like, favorite foods? Or, like, does it like jokes? Or,
He has incredibly wild mood swings. It's been very difficult to gauge things that it truly enjoys. It has a very high opinion of itself, so flattery will get you a lot of places. But too much flattery, and he'll think you are chiding him.
I've been around that a lot, so I understand that.
I take it he likes gifts or tribute, so to say.
Wouldn't know, never brought any. That's a good idea.
What sort of things do you think Blinky would like?
Probably his name.
Well, that's rude.
Oh boy.
What happens if, like, we make up a name and try to give it to him? Like, will he accept it, not knowing what it was?
Honestly, it probably wouldn't even matter. You contacted me under the pretense of a different name, did you not?
Yes.
Yes. I
Nara
believe
says
so.
resolutely without having any idea of what's going on.
Yes, I attempted to contact you through a name that you no longer have.
Yes, and if you were to give me that name, I may recognize it somehow, but it would not feel like mine. So even if you gave him his true name, it probably would not help much, as it would not seem familiar. Or it would not connect, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. Nothing here really does.
So even if we were to make up a name, it would still have the same effect as if we were to give him his actual true name, except he might not recognize it initially.
You'd also probably immediately thought that you stole it.
Fair.
He seems like he might be a Derek.
Derek.
Stares off penitently.
I don't know. Maybe like a Xander or something along those lines.
Either way, if you wish introductions, I'd be happy to give them.
I mean, it's either talk to Blinky or talk to the squid faces.
Blinky or the brains?
It's tricky. Between Blinky and the brains.
Yeah, one's a genius, and the other one's insane.
That is difficult.
Doesn't sound like a genius to me. He's so paranoid, doesn't even know his own name.
Well, he's the insane one.
I thought the gods of madness were the insane ones.
Oh, everything's mad here.
Wait.
It's a realm that takes its toll. Most things spend their time dreaming, since time is the only thing they don't have.
Wolfgang's just gonna nod and start checking his weapons. Oh, guess I'll get ready for what I need to do.
This is going to sound very strange, but does your blood taste like cinnamon?
He sort of looks up.
Just a random thought. Weirdest damn thing, but I had to ask.
Nara, slowly looks up at Wolfgang.
Does it?
I think I heard that once.
Fascinating.
Slowly goes back down to start cleaning his gun.
Nara, eyes him a little too long.
Don't get any ideas.
What?
You want to try and see now, don't you?
I'll wait. I'm patient.
It's nice being around people.
With a bit of luck, we'll get you back to the material plane where you'll be able to see a lot of people.
And I'll be able to set you back on your way. To wherever it is you're supposed to be going.
And then, eventually, I guess, we're going to have this meeting again. But from the reverse angle, kinda.
Yes. I suppose we will.
Wait. When we get back, when will we get back?
I'm unclear on the specifics, really. This whole thing, I'm kind of playing by ear.
Does it matter?
Quite a bit.
Why?
We get back and the world's destroyed. What's the bloody point?
Oh. Yeah, that's a good point.
But what if we get back before all this has even started?
Then we have a lot more time to figure it out, right?
Big bloody head start.
You're attempting to save the world.
Sure.
A look comes across his face. One you might call concerned, and kind of frustrated as he's trying to think. I see. Well then, I suppose we should get moving.
That we should.
Yep, I'm good to go.
All right. Well, let's go make introductions then. And he starts marching down the non-caved-in hallway that, Nara, you heard a bit of noise down the previous night.
As Tom goes down the hall and Denier follows. And Wolfgang probably starts to follow as well, and she'll kind of pull on the back of his jacket.
So, sorry I threatened your little human. I thought about if you had threatened Asmo and how that would have made me feel, and I probably would have just killed you. So,
I'm glad you come to your senses, at least.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I don't hold it against you. I get it. You're angry.
I haven't had this thing that you guys seem to have so easily. My whole life. You just seem to get along and want to support each other, and yesterday, well, whatever day it was yesterday before we slept, when Denier said he would try and banish us the same way that you banished Asmo. All I could think about is that I don't want Denier to be stuck here too. That I would be angry if he was. And as much as you frustrate me, I wouldn't want you to be gone either.
Oh. That's good to hear. Having things to lose. It's not easy, but it also means that you have things that you cherish. People that you cherish. And people that would cherish you back. And people that would miss you if you were gone too. And that's why, when I say they're going to get us all out of here, they aren't just honeyed words. I mean them. Every time.
I don't know if you mean it for me, but... I do still want to make it back. All of us.
Then let's go get back. We still gotta rescue Asmo, don't we?
If we can, I'd like to.
We can. And we will. I'll make sure of that.
I'd be real mad at you, just so you know.
She crosses.
Oh,
her
I
arms.
know. I'm probably in for an earful as soon as we get there, but...
Damn right you are.
Well,
As you get... Oh, sorry.
that was a good stopping point.
All right. As you get further down the hallway, Tom begins like walking a little bit slower. He kind of turns back to the rest of you. Now, out of the three of you, which of you relies the least on magic?
Flo turns to Wolfgang.
I suppose that would be me, although it's a large part of my repertoire. I'm not sure if... You say this thing disrupts the flow of magic, but there are things that I can do that are, I guess, innate. Things that are burnt into my blood, almost literally. Would that also be stopped by this?
I don't believe so.
Well, then...
It would, however, dampen any magical artifacts you may wish to use.
Ah. That might pose a bit of a problem, but... yes, I suppose it would be me, then.
If you wish, were you to find yourself separated, I could put a little shell around one of you that could basically have the same effect of his eyeball glaring at you.
That might work.
So like a shell of anti-magic.
Yes.
Like an anti-magic shell of some sort.
Yes, a field of anti-magic.
Fascinating.
Isn't it, though?
Well, if we need someone to get in close and hit this thing, I suppose that would be me. I'm not sure how Crescendo is going to react to whatever anti-magic.
If it has any sort of divine or magical properties, I'm sure it would still act as a sword.
I think that's all I'll need.
Well then. He holds his hand up to you. You can see his eyes like faintly start to kind of like twinkle with this almost like purple glitter. If you get a closer look at his eyes, you can see that all of these little bits of glitter are these magical runes that are swirling into a vortex into his eyes. And anybody within 10 feet of Wolfgang, which I'm guessing is everybody at this point, all of your magical items kind of stop working. And any innate magic you currently have going on stops.
My muscles just...
he looks
damn it,
as
I forgot about that.
He looks as your clothes grow around you. You now look like you're in your dad's coat.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Oh, you're so wimpy now.
Tom's eyes just kind of go wide. Sorry, I didn't expect that to happen.
No, you weren't the only one.
Wolfgang,
Phew.
give me a just a quick dex save. Not a very high one, but
23.
you catch your pants before they fall down and you rebuckle your belt.
Ah. Well, that's a bit of a downer, but
The only moment in time I'm not sad I don't have that belt.
right.
All right then.
Well. And how long is this supposed to last?
Long as I want, really.
Fair enough. Forgot. You were right.
Tom
Yes.
has a way with magic that I can't even begin to understand.
Did you relay to us that Tom is Arcanos?
Nope.
Denier has not. He does look like a younger Tom to you, basically, Wolfgang, and he speaks very similarly. So you have no reason to believe he was the kid you just met a little while ago.
He did give you a hint, though.
Yes.
Wait. Tom, if you can do random cool magic stuff, can I have one too?
Looking at kind of being within 10 feet of Wolfgang. Not right here.
Well,
And she like scoots just outside of wherever she feels that it ends.
I'll walk away.
As you get about 10 feet away from Wolfgang, you feel all of your magical implements starting to come back into play. Your shadow gets a little more voluminous. What is it that you would like?
I don't know. Whatever would be useful against Blinky. In case they don't want to, be a little ass's big brother.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember the spell. What is the charisma equivalent of Cat's Grace?
Eagle Splendor?
Eagle Splendor.
I think.
It's. I think in 5e it's like skill empowerment or something like that.
Yeah, skill empowerment. It would be...
Eagle
No,
Splendor
wait.
Spell grants a +4 enhancement bonus to charisma, adding usual benefits of charisma-based skill checks.
My God.
Oh wait, no, that's 3/5.
It's like a
Enhance ability.
something? Enhance
Yeah,
ability, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Owl's wisdom, fox's cunning. Yeah, it's still Eagle Splendor.
Yeah! I was right.
Yeah.
Haha, trivia.
All right. He graces you with Eagle Splendor, which will give you advantage on all charisma checks.
Oh, advantage?
Yes.
Okay. For how long?
Range touch, duration about an hour. So, I don't
Okay.
know if I don't know if you plan for this conversation to go longer.
Nope.
All right then. I'll step in there and see how this goes. He kind of cracks open this little stone slab doorway that kind of slides to the side. You hear kind of the sound of metal tinking against metal inside. Almost sounds like something's haphazardly tinkering. And as the door slides open, I will open this map for you.
And
You see once again this tentacle-like architecture of spires around you. It looks fairly similar to the room you were just in, maybe slightly more ornate, with a viscous green fountain sitting in the center of the room. Looks to be... it smells of rot. And not in the way that a lot of this place smells like rot. It literally smells like that thing is just full of tiny dead things. It looks very tepid and still. From behind the pillar, you can hear the tinking noises. And in the far back corner, you can see kind of strapped into this very alien-looking chair is a mind flare, its tentacles kind of writhing about slowly, with 5 of these very thin black rods shoved into the top of its skull.
oh, do we recognize them?
You might go ahead and give me a history with advantage, I want to say, or arcane with advantage, your call.
They're both the same, so I'll go with history.
I'm gonna
16.
go with our Arcana check. You said
Yeah.
17.
28.
Even Wolfgang and Nara can recognize the material from back this far. You last remember a rod not as big as this, or actually no, a rod thicker than the ones that looks like are inside this thing's head, in the head of your old boy, Kimberton Wumperstump.
Hell yeah. That boy.
That boy.
Oh my god.
And as Tom sort of walks into the room, the eyes of the Mind Flayer give off this very subtle shimmer, and the tinkering stops behind the large pillar. Nara, actually, you start hearing in deep speech, Yes? He answers in Undercommon. And slowly floating out from behind the pillar, you see a large meatball of a creature, very similar to the inky depiction within Wolfgang's book. This creature with one large eye glowering at Tom, its mouth lined with razor-sharp teeth, and its meaty bulbous extremity giving way to 10 eye stalk-like tentacles, or tentacle-like eye stalks. Each of the eyes begin to glow violently as they look at Tom. Oh, are we still on about that? They all fire immediately at Tom.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Wolfgang, how far away are you from Tom? But as Wolfgang is within 10 feet, the beams get directly towards his face, and then... Rude. The ball shakes in fury. And Tom steps forward once again. And the meatball actually kind of backs off a little bit. And his center eye then glows purple. That's better. Now, what are you working on back here?
I have no reason to speak with you!
Perhaps not. Perhaps we can finally put aside our differences and help each other out.
You conniving, thieving wretch!
Nara
Tom.
looks at Tom, taken aback.
What?
Tom looks back. We have a history. This is going nowhere if you'd like to take the reins.
Nara will kind of step out a little bit.
The eye stalks start to look towards you as the center eye continues glaring at Tom.
She finally gets a good look because she was sort of in the entranceway before, and her eyes light up and she smiles so big when she sees the beholder.
Wow, look at you! That's just impressive.
Its eyes seem to blink in a very random pattern. Each eye just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The center eye almost blinks, but just kind of keeps itself open. Go ahead and give me a... I guess this would just be a charisma check with advantage.
Okay. BB, where you at? Doink. 17, thank God.
All right. Versus his insight.
You bring conspirers with you?
What am I conspiring about?
You seek to steal my research, seek to steal it, to defame.
Nope. Not at all, really.
Persuasion with advantage.
28.
Then why do you travel with him?
Well, we kind of got stuck here, so he just sort of showed up. And then there's not really a lot of beings here, so he thought we should meet.
You speak my tongue. How, where did you learn it?
Where did I learn it?
Just where you grew up.
Oh, yeah. Well, Solomon raised me, and I learned it when I grew up around him.
What is a Solomon?
Well, Solomon is the god of undeath, and he is my guardian. Like a parent thing. Or was, rather.
Go ahead and give me another persuasion.
25.
Its eyes once again kind of blink out of sequence as it's trying to process the information you were giving it.
This language I pulled from another world. You are from another world as well. You have traveled. You know the places.
I might know some places, but I don't really know what's going on. Do you?
Its eyes blink. Oh dear.
Of course I know what's going on! Of course! I know all there is to know, and I will know more that there is to know. I will know everything as soon as I can tap into the minds of these despicable tentacle faces.
Oh, I've seen one of those before.
I have killed many.
Wow, I could only... Well, I didn't even kill one. I needed help.
I am the master of this realm, and I will rule more. You have traveled from other dimensions, and you will show me how you have done so.
I didn't choose to do so is the problem. I don't know how any of that works.
Nara, by chance, are you attempting to hide the egg at all?
It's on her back, so. It's
Poor
it's
bastard. He doesn't
What?
seem to notice it.
Not... Okay, great.
His eyes flail around, trying to take stock of this situation. Then
Doc. Ah.
You traveled here with him, and you seek my knowledge.
I wasn't seeking it, but I wouldn't be upset if you shared.
Why would I share?
You don't have to,
Good, I'm not going to.
but it would be nice. Oh, and then I could tell you, what happened, of how I got here, and then maybe that will help us both.
persuasion.
$15.
He glances, purple eyes staying on Tom.
Your story first.
Mine?
Yes.
So we went to this elf place.
Elf.
That
What
was-
is elf?
So you see how I have ears like this?
And she kind of flips her ears a little bit.
A couple of his eye stalks kind of caress the side of his head.
Are you mocking my visage?
What? No, these are on my head. But elves look like me, but a little different. And they live for a really long time. And they had this village that was way up in the sky.
Time.
And... Huh?
Time. That word
Time.
again.
Time?
You know of it. Explain!
So... It's like... So where I come from, there is a big ball of fire in the sky. And as it moves, that is the passage of time. Or how we account for it.
Tom is grimacing. You can't see it. Like, he wants to correct. But he's just letting this go.
Nara has no idea. She's grew up in a cave, literally.
Yeah.
So... Yeah.
So, it is just fire. All it
Not-
needs is fire.
Not quite.
Fire in the skies.
That's like part of it. But it's not a thing. Does that make sense?
Just needs fire in the skies, and then we're partway there, yes.
Well, Well, that's only how we count it.
Count by fire. Then...
Yes. And time passes. There are days and months and years. So, elves and drow like me, we live for many, many years. While things like humans only live for about 100 of those.
So they would be good to subjugate. You will help me find these humans.
They're pretty feisty, if I'm honest.
Yes.
And they repopulate very quickly. It's very hard to keep them subjugated.
More to rule. Wonderful. Yes, this can work. This can work, and then they will count the fires till I arrive.
Sure?
Yes.
Anyway, we were in the elf village, and then some things exploded, and then we were stretched really far, and then we ended up here.
So the fires were counted, and then the elongations, and then travel. Yes, it's coming together. It's coming together nicely now, yes.
He once again kind of glares at Tom.
Fine, come, I will explain. Yeah.
And as he turns around, you can see sticking out of the back of his head alongside a few of those tendrils are a few more of those black rods.
In his head?
Yes, it seems that he shoved them in there. There appears to be a kind of a nesting brace around some of his eye stalks.
Huh. Those are pretty.
His eye stalks turn and look at it.
Yes!
Give me a perception check.
24.
You hear him mutter under his breath, "I knew it." And as he floats away and as you start walking forward, Tom actually looks towards you. Nicely done.
Thanks. I hope I explained all of that well.
Well enough for him.
Nora looks in the fountain and, like, wafts the smell near her face.
Some of it is a fairly familiar smell. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you look into it.
Oh, 11 with a nat 1.
The water looks very, well, water for lack of a better word. It's very tepid and it is very tepid, very stale, and very unpotable. It is, disgusting, one might say. You start to hear him tinkering once again beyond the pillar. The eye stalks continue to track you, and Denier, as you come around the side, are you trying to be sneaky?
Nope.
Okay. He notices you, and the eyes begin to light up once again. Yeah, he sees both you and Wolfgang, and the eye stalks turn, and his whole body once again turns.
There are more?
Ah. They're my...
She looks back and kind of looks at him for a minute. Gives this tiny little smile.
They're my friends.
What is a friend?
It's... Well, that concept is sort of new to me as well, so I'll try my best to explain. It's like someone you would be sad if they weren't there with you. Or really angry that they're not there with you.
Looks away.
She like kind of side eyes at Wolfgang as she says it.
It seems to be trying to process this as kind of a, you can tell it's an alien concept. His eyes kind of blink in unison.
Then I am my friend. Yes.
Yeah. You would be sad if you weren't around, right?
Yes. Very.
The concept seems to be about other people more than anything. And your, relationship with them. But to be your own friend seems good too.
Yes. It is. I am the best friend.
Nara
start-
just like stares up and is like, yeah, that tracks.
Yes.
You hear the tinkering continue.
This is the corpse of an interloper. It was huddling here with its sick hive, and I conquered them, like I will conquer all, and it will give me its information when I learn to sap into the rest of them.
Oh. So this one controls all the little squid things?
Yes, it works as a transmitter. And that one is my guinea pig.
One of the eye stalks points over towards the mind flare with the rod sticking out of its head tied to a chair.
Ah, that makes sense.
Nara is like completely unfazed by this because this is like light mode of things she's seen.
I will conquer them, and they will give me their secrets to open the portals. And now that I know how to count the fires, it's only a matter of counting them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom is aggravatingly scratching the side of his face.
Nara's just like wandering around looking at the architecture and stuff.
The architecture has a lot of curves to it. Like I said, it's very like H.R. Geiger inspired.
Ooh. So, what do these little sticks in that thing's head do?
They act as a receiver and a transponder to give signals and send them.
You found a way to turn these sticks into what that thing was?
Working on it, yes.
That's genius.
Persuasion?
She's not trying to persuade him. She's
Oh, I
literally
know.
natural.
Ooh.
Yes, it is.
His eye kind of glances, his purple eye actually kind of glances away for a second, and you can see a modicum of blood kind of swell to the side of his meat cheeks.
Did I just make a beholder blush?
With a nat 20, yes, you did.
Oh my god.
Wolfgang
She's like
looks over
gonna-
to Denier and mouths, "Wow, she is really good at kissing ass."
Denier just nods a couple times.
Now that you've walked over to the beholder, or the mind flare, It looks back up towards you, and its eyes instantly its eyes instantly hone in on the egg on your back.
That anomaly!
Oh, little ass?
Little ass! Give me little ass!
Why? No, little ass is mine.
It is an anomaly. It needs to be studied. Give me...
Little ass is my friend.
Give me your little ass.
Dear God.
Wolfgang almost audibly goes.
But I love little ass.
And she gives the like really sad eyes, like very confused. I thought we were friends right now.
Persuasion natural, as this would normally be with disadvantage.
Okay. 28.
Ooh.
I need to see it. I must learn what secrets it holds. I have seen nothing of its like. I must know.
But can't you learn if I'm holding on to little ass? I just want to keep them safe.
No, I need it. You will not withhold from me.
Don't mind letting you look at little ass. Just, I don't want it to get hurt is all.
Its eye stalks begin hovering around its head, or kind of like getting more and more rigid around its head as they all start to turn towards you.
She looks at the mind flayer and all the rods in its head.
'Cause like these?
And she kind of taps one of the rods.
This would
As you tap the rod in the beholder's, or in the mind flayer's head, 4 of the eye stalks twitch drastically to the right as he winces.
Sorry. I didn't know that was gonna affect you.
Why did this happen?
What do you mean?
You!
And the remaining eye stalks that are on the other side, 3 of them fire off, but as they come towards you, they are deflected by the shell around Wolfgang and get absorbed before they slam directly into you. It looked like it was a red ray, an orange ray, and a green ray.
Why did you do that?
You. I should have known you'd betray me. You.
I didn't even know that that's what was gonna happen. I don't understand this. You're the smart one.
Persuasion?
Oh my God.
26.
Dear
What
Lord.
the hell?
That's right, baby.
His eyes are all twitching.
This makes no sense. You must be tricking me somehow. Why?
Like anything.
You're being a wonderful distraction to him right now. Let's see. I'm rolling a stealth.
This brain.
I'm rolling a stealth check for Tom versus his perception at disadvantage due to your. Oh yeah! Wow.
Oh my god, amazing.
Why would you?
Well, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I didn't know that it would give you some kind of injury. I thought it only gave you information, not physical pain.
It should. That. It's something I'm going to fix. Just. Out of my way!
He starts hovering towards the mind flayer.
Are these stairs in front of me, or?
Yeah, those are. I mean, it looks like kind of a banister, but you can slide off,
like,
jump around it.
Go around the side to like watch what he's doing.
The eye stalks are swiveling around. A lot of them are keeping their eyes on you, Nara. Yeah, holy shit, he still doesn't notice Tom.
Great. Yeah, she's just like gonna watch to be like,
Well, I don't want to hurt you, so I want to make sure that I don't do whatever I did again.
It won't happen again when I fix it!
And you can see them all kind of glow this slightly pinkish violet color as they begin to kind of twist and move inside the Mind Flayer's head. Every time they kind of like twist and shiver, the Mind Flayer's body kind of clenches and the tentacles sort of contract and twist. His eyes bulge out in different directions.
Nara watches this and is just like,
It moves funny when you do that.
Persuasion with advantage again.
hell yeah. 24.
What? Oh my god, they're getting worse though. We gotta wrap this up.
The eyes, no longer shining, glance towards you, and he gives what could be his equivalent of a smile, just like a
Ugh.
And she, she's used to seeing like terrible abominations that Solomon has made, so she like genuinely smiles back at it. Like, yeah. Haha.
You are a different one. The worlds you come from. Are there others like you?
Not that I've met. Not many people have been very kind to me because of how I am.
Well, they're fools! I mean, they're fools.
Oh. You think so?
Yes.
Well, you are very different too. And in a good way, I think.
The world you come from, does it have a ruler?
I mean, there are several tiny areas with different rulers. But not like one.
Then I could rule that world, maybe.
Judging on how smart you are about everything, you'd probably be good at it.
Yes.
persuasion again.
Oh my god. 19?
God.
Of course I would. I will be the greatest of all time.
And checking to see if Tom is getting away with what he's doing right now. The disadvantage on these is really helping. Denier, what are you up to while this is going on?
I'm observing everything. I'm in a position where I'm keeping an eye on Tom, so if something happens, I can react and help Tom. I'm basically on standby.
Tom is reaching into the elder brain tub. It seems to be like messing with some shit in there.
Basically, I'm on standby far enough away to where if something negative happens, I can react to try to help either group. But if he glances at me, I'm just leaning against the wall, leaning against the statue, watching. Just looking very casual and in no way, shape, or form aggressive.
These friends of yours. Why are they so quiet? Did they not learn to speak? Are
Well,
they invalid?
They don't know how to speak the language that you and I speak.
So they are stupid.
In some ways, yes.
When she says that, Wolfgang just nods at her and gives her a thumbs up.
And she like looks at him with a shit-eating grin, like, uh-huh.
You're doing great.
She's like, I know, bitch.
One of the eyes turns towards you and you make that gesture, Wolfgang.
He has no idea what we're talking about. I'm just trying to be encouraging so he doesn't feel bad.
I just smile like I'm happy to be there.
I cannot hurt him.
Hmm?
His gaze now switches over to Wolfgang.
Why can I not harm him? I cannot use my eyes!
Oh, yeah. He knows a bunch of weird magic stuff. There are a couple people like him.
You can see him starting to get frustrated. He's starting to kind of gnash his teeth towards you, Wolfgang.
Oh, don't be too hard on him. He's not very smart, so his natural defenses have to be higher.
He is
I'm just
in
gonna-
my way and threatening me.
Just gonna.
Yeah, Nara like waves her hand for him to move over. And
Just
so
sort
he
of
just like
side
sidestep.
scoot across the floor.
Glancing
See?
that,
He listens very well.
glancing that way, now getting a non-disadvantaged look at Tom, who is still trying to do what he's doing sneakily, so I will still give him a stealth roll. His purple eye now glancing at Tom.
What is he
Uh-oh.
doing?
What are you doing back there? Oh, nothing. Don't mind me. You continue your conversation. I'm just looking at your work.
You stay away from my projects, you bastard! Conspirer! Concealer! Deceiver and thief!
Anybody like to make any attempt to de-escalate this situation?
I'm just gonna get ready for a fight, like I always have been.
Wolfgang pulls out his gun.
Well, I don't pull out anything just yet. I'm just keeping my hands on stuff.
I don't think Tom knows how to do much of anything.
Nobody? Okay.
She's calling that out to the beholder.
Okay. This would typically be deception with disadvantage, but this will just be a regular deception due to your Eagle Splendor.
Eagle Splendor.
11.
The eyes glance back to you.
You are false. You are all false.
Heightened spell charm monster.
Charm monster. Large aberration. Yeah, he's not immune to it, so go ahead and we will have you have him try to make that save
With
After a quick-
disadvantage. Oh, go ahead.
after a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us, and if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. All right, so Denier thinking very quickly as Blinky getting furious with Tom, who is tinkering with a dead elder brain. Denier fires off Empowered Charm Monster, was it?
Indeed.
Go ahead and click that spell. Attempt to charm a creature you can see within range. It must make a wisdom saving throw. It does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it, which technically not in combat yet, though it is infuriated and on the cusp of combat. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature is friendly to you When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you.
And heightened spell, it takes that save at disadvantage.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to play this because right now it thinks you are its enemies. Is that technically combat? I'm going to say, since you're kind of catching him off guard here in a moment of weakness, I'm going to say he's taken a disadvantage.
Okay.
DC 17?
DC 17 at disadvantage.
All right, his first roll was a 22, or 21, sorry.
All right.
Oh, wait, no. He has, it would have been a 26.
Oh, God.
Okay, so it's down to this one.
Come on.
Motherfucker. Okay, he got a 16. You got him.
Oh, my God. What
So
the fuck?
so as he's hovering over to Tom, Denier, you pop from around the pillar.
Deceiver, vile thief, broom friend.
Oh, my
What?
God.
Where?
Its eye stalks all start looking at each other.
What? Huh?
Its big purple eye starts to shine on Tom.
What is...
Its eye goes dull.
I don't understand what is happening.
Oh, was Tom your friend this whole time?
She had no
No.
idea that Denier did that, so.
No.
I'll be your friend. Oh, don't worry, I'll be your friend. I don't think I want that.
Do you want to be my friend?
His cheeks once again engorge with blood.
Maybe.
That's not a no.
That's correct.
Denier looks at Tom and he winks a bit. And then continues to lean against the pillar.
Tom's just kind of grinning.
Get out of my work. You're gonna ruin it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. What are you doing? You're taking the rods.
I'm just using them to make something.
But I was using those. Those are mine. I crafted them.
Can't
And
you
you did
just
it.
pull some of those from this?
And she gestures over at the tentacle face.
But I made those for that.
Well, can't you make more though?
I can.
Well, there you go then.
Don't you?
Tom's only saying that he's not smart enough to make them on his own. That's
That is-
all. Are you about to say that I'm wrong? Just saying.
The eyes begin to glare on him. I'm just saying there are degrees with which
Degrees which you're incapable of. And that's the only reason you want to borrow them, is you can't make them yourself. Right, Tom?
She stares at him very blankly.
Tom smiles. Yes, quite correct. And he starts once again pulling more out of the elder brain.
But my work.
But you don't even have time here, so you have all the resources you need to make more, right?
Yes, but I bored. I
Well,
want to leave.
what if we play a game?
What game?
Mm.
Eradicate the peons is my favorite.
Oh, did you see all those flying brain things out there? There are so many peons to eradicate.
There are so many peons.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion, once again with advantage.
Oh, yeah.
I shall pee on them.
12. And he's
No!
charmed and smitten.
He's charmed, which means he's considered friendly, so he's not in the midst of combat. It does not mean he has to take what you say as granted.
Right.
But this one,
No! You're just ruining my work! What? Why can't I hit you?
because we're friends.
That does track. I wanted to hit Wolfgang, but I didn't.
What's a Wolfgang?
That one.
She points at
He just
Wolfgang.
jumps at hearing his name suddenly called. Whoa.
Yeah, you just hear,
Wolfgang! Ow!
Nara just points
his
at
head
him
shakes like, whoa.
in common tongue. She goes,
Smile and nod right now.
He smiles and gives a little nod. His eyes are uncomfortable right now, though.
That one is a Wolfgang. That one is a Tom. What do they call you?
Well, I didn't have one to be called before, so I chose Nara.
You didn't have one.
No.
Did they steal it from you?
I don't know, actually. But I never had one, so no one would tell me what it was, and no one would call me anything, so I chose Nara.
his eyes kind of start to blink out of sequence.
Chosen name.
Yes.
Where did it go?
Where did what go?
My name.
I don't know.
Where is it? Where is it?
I'm not sure. Can we help you find it?
How would you know how to find it?
I don't.
He's staring at you suspiciously.
I didn't even have one of my own. I had to choose one.
One of them took it.
No, I didn't know them before not too long ago, really.
The perfect excuse.
No, I don't think they're smart enough for that.
That's what they want you to think.
Nara will, like, walk up beside Wolfgang.
Look at him.
The
I don't
one
think he's
my-
capable of stealing my name.
the
Or
one-
anyone else's, for that matter.
The one my eyes can't hurt.
Just tug up my pants that are still a little loose.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion with advantage.
22.
Then it must be you!
And he glances, all of his eyes dart towards Denier.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Why,
Definitely not Denier.
you... him?
Yes.
Why do I like you?
Well, look at how cute he is.
Why is he cute?
He's a cat. Denier, take your hood down.
I don't have a hood. I've got a jacket.
Oh, that's right.
We haven't redone his token.
Denir's ears just perk up and twitch just a little bit, and he stares up at
So-
the beholder.
She, like, walks in front of Denir's face and, like, squishes it so his whiskers are, like, pushed up near his nose.
Look at that. Isn't that adorable?
Whisker
Denier
twitch.
Give me a charisma check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, me or him? Sorry.
Denier.
Oh, sorry. Disregard
17.
Hey!
17. God damn it. He watches as you squish his face. And he just goes, "Aw." I mean,
Don't see?
And then she picks up his hand and, like, puts his hands up and, like, squishes on his little beans on his hand.
This.
Look at them. They're adorable. Of course you like him. He's adorable.
Denier meows.
Denier, persuasion with advantage.
Okay. 20.
Yes!
I can't handle this right now! I'm going out!
Oh,
Don't break my things!
okay. Sorry. I hope you feel better.
And with that, Blinky leaves.
And Whisperer hanging out at the bottom right.
Yup. In the area I meant to mask with shadows.
Yep.
Well. Good work.
Nara, goes, like, absent-mindedly turns to Wolfgang and, like, starts scratching behind Denier's ear.
You have 1 hour to do whatever you're doing before he realizes everything's really fucked up.
Tom, are we any closer to figuring out how to get out of here?
Maybe another step closer. He starts examining the metallic rods that he's been picking out of the brain. Yes, I believe I might have something. Potentially.
All right, well, I don't know how long that thing's going to be gone for, but...
Given the spell, I'd guess an hour.
Spell?
Yes. He points towards Denier.
Denier gives a little bit of a grin.
What did you do?
I may have, charmed him.
So rude. I thought we were being friends.
He was about to attack Tom.
Well,
And for the next hour, we are friends.
I hope we're still friends after the hour's up.
Don't think so.
We're not going to be here.
Those kind of spells let you know if you've been under the effects of a spell. So we should probably get hurrying here.
You see Tom gathering materials. He picks up he kind of like rips a ring off of the brain stem of the Elder Brain.
Denier's going to move up, and he's going to try to give Tom advantage by assisting him.
There doesn't appear to be a particular method to his probing, but he does seem to. You see an idea starting to form in his head as he's grabbing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that'll do. Do you happen to have a blade on you? A knife?
Denier reaches down to his boot, and he pulls out his boot knife, handing it
Perfect.
over.
He shoves the blade into the center of the brain and starts prying it apart. Let's see, in here somewhere, just to do. And you're giving him advantage, so he will take that. There it is. He starts carving at a specific part of the frontal cortex lobe. There we go. And yes, this'll do nicely.
Good.
Reaches
Is
in,
there anything else we need?
pops it in a jar. Looks back towards Nara. Just need to figure out how to get that to hatch.
Oh, lil ass?
Yes.
Oh,
She'll, like, slide the egg in front of her and kind of knock on the top.
hey.
Gives a little wiggle when you knock.
Are you ready to come out? 'Cause we kind of need you to. Now. If you don't mind.
Go ahead and give me a knowledge nature.
7.
You're not really sure what you need to do at the moment to get this egg to hatch. You do know how chickens tend to incubate their eggs. Some creatures just kind of like leave them in a warm-ish place, but you've never raised a creature before, especially not from egg.
I'm usually around dead creatures or creatures that are about to die. So does anyone know how to hatch an egg?
Give it here.
Why?
I'm helping. You're asking for
Where
help.
is-
I'm helping.
You're not gonna banish it, are you?
I give her a very flat look. No, I am not going to banish it.
Probably wouldn't work anyway.
Alright, fine.
I'll hand it over. I'll take off my hat and I'll like place it on top of the egg. Besides, if I do banish it, the hat will go with it. I like that hat.
The egg
She
wobbles
kind of, like,
a little bit with the hat on top of it.
Laughs at Egg Gang.
What the bloody hell am I doing? All right, I'm just gonna go over here and sit on this stoop, and I'm going to not necessarily go into Radiant Soul, but I am going to sort of, just for flavor, pop my wings out and sort of mother hen this thing.
All right, so you're going to try to warm it with radiant energy? Go ahead and... Oh.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll just keep it close to me, and I'll just cradle it in my wings.
Okay. That would be an arcane check, I believe.
Okay. Her soft 20.
Ooh.
As you sit down and just hold the egg, your eyes begin to kind of flicker with a radiant light. Tom's eyebrows arch as this radiant aura starts forming around your body, slowly at first. And you begin to sort of transfer that aura around the egg itself in a very paternal, kind of protecting manner. You get images of Elliot in your mind as you put this protective sort of aura around the egg. You remember holding your son for the first time, caring for him as he was growing up, watching him take his first steps. And you can feel this very gentle pulse coming from inside the egg. Almost like a tiny heartbeat surging.
Gently begins rocking the egg almost instinctively. Sort of just staring into it, kind of lost in the moment.
Nara, this look of unparalleled kindness and care, something that you haven't really seen, like an expression on the face of Wolfgang that you haven't seen previously, this peaceful expression, a very kind, wizened face, as he looks down at this egg with a sort of expression that you don't think you've ever experienced. The egg shakes a little bit more. You can almost hear like a bit of a tapping at the side of it.
Oh.
Through the radiant energy kind of giving it light around it. Nara, you can see the shape of a tiny little reptiloid inside, scratching at the egg, kind of like nosing its way around. It's big in there. It looks like it barely fits.
Her face kind of like lights up that the thing is actually happening, and she like puts her hands on the side of the egg like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Who, me?
21.
Nara.
Oh.
You feel the radiance, and something that usually like kind of stings and burns to you. Your body, your energy starts to meld with it as the shadows begin to meld over the egg as well. And as you touch your hand to it, 2 claws pierce the front of the egg and land between 2 of your fingers. They give a very gentle, subtle kind of like grip onto your flesh. It's not strong enough to pierce skin. The claws themselves are sharp, but it's just trying to like pulling on your hand.
She's like kind of rubbing its little clawed fingies very tenderly, like, oh, you're so vicious already.
Another set of claws kind of starts jabbing at the other side, and you can see the shell begin to crack as a little lightly frilled baby tyrannosaur head pokes its way, like shoving its nose first, kind of the top of the egg off.
Welcome to the world, little ass.
Little ass. Oh, look at you.
Starts to stretch its jaw, and you see these very tiny little like pre-nubbins of teeth poking out of its mouth.
Oh my goodness.
She's just like petting its face and kind of booping its nose, and
It starts biting at your hand. It's failing miserably as it still hasn't opened its eyes. It eventually gets like a little like its head's about the size of, I don't know, maybe your closed fist.
okay,
Maybe slightly
so
larger.
Yeah, okay.
It does get kind of like its mouth kind of wrapped around your, like kind of that little indent between your thumb and index finger as it bites down. It doesn't seem to do any damage, but it's
Oh. Look
as it continues to try to nose its way out of the egg.
She's just watching because she knows well enough to not interfere when a creature is hatching.
Continues to push, and eventually it just flops out of the egg. Its body still soaked with the remaining the fluids from within the egg, which Tom, having heard the commotion going on, is just looking over it. Oh, adorable. Can I have the shell, please?
What?
Take it.
What?
Thank you.
Nara keeps a couple of the pieces, like hides away a couple of the pieces, like, this is my baby shell.
He starts examining the fluid. Tries to take a vial of it, holds it at a distance, and the vial turns to sand. Whoop! Scoops it back up with the egg. Wonderful.
That's the same thing happened when I tried to hold the whenever I tried to conceal the liquid time.
The shell's immune to it, though.
Yes, this should work perfectly. So long as we can get the last piece of our equation. But that'll take me a little while to
prepare for, and we probably don't want to be here when good old Blinky gets back, I'm assuming, unless we want to kill him.
No!
Okay, no, I was just saying, unless.
That's Lil Ass's big brother.
So where do we go? It's either this or all those little brains on legs out there.
We might cross paths with him, but odds are if he ran into those, they're probably very dead.
Oh, he's probably playing Kill the Peons.
He might be looking for more materials, which he'll need, because I'm taking most of them. Speaking of which, he walks over to the Mind Flayer.
Oh boy.
Wait! You might hurt him.
Maybe.
Well, we don't want that.
True, that would make him turn around quicker.
Yeah, the beholder seemed to react negatively when Nara touched those.
Not to mention it has a connection with the rest of them, and those rods seem to intercept it, so if we pull all those things out, then the squid faces might know exactly where we are.
Well put. He looks down at the Chronosaur, which is beginning to learn to walk very quickly. Oh, look at him go. I need to make a... Actually, I can probably just put my old Chronosaur token down, huh? And
Yeah!
But tiny.
I can only make them so small.
Tiny.
Tiny Chronosaur. Where are you? I'll find it eventually. Yeah, it starts kind of like shambling around. It's the frills on the back of its, kind of like around its neck, start to bloom back to their original orange and blue radiance.
Oh, look at you.
Its teeth have gotten larger. It no longer looks like a baby, but more like a... it's also kind of grown to be about 3.5 feet tall.
Oh my goodness, look
Relatively
at you.
short order.
And she'll try and using all of her training from her time at the school, interact with her baby little ass.
That'll be a animal handling with advantage.
12.
It kind of steps down a little bit, kind of walks up to you, its head kind of tilting back and forth, gives you a couple of sniffs, and then shoves its head under your hand.
Hello, little ass. Oh, yes, I know. I've waited so long.
Starts sniffing the air.
Denier passes off a day's worth of meat rations over to Nara.
As you turn to look at Nara, it starts kind of like stomping over to that tepid pool. Starts sniffing it.
Wait.
Oh no.
I don't know what that is.
Get him away from there.
It looks like it's about to dig in.
Babies will
She'll,
try
like,
to eat
try and-
anything.
Yeah, she'll try and pick him up. And
Athletics?
okay. Oh god. 7.
He's not very heavy yet. He's probably about 80 pounds, which to your frame is pretty damn heavy. But it's more the fact that he's just kind of flailing as you try to pick him up, kind of makes himself dead weight.
She'll walk with him over to Denier.
She's like, put it on the ground.
He drops the rations onto the ground.
And she'll carefully like set little ass on the ground and be like,
Here, see?
Starts sniffing. just takes a bite and just swallows it like a duck. Goes back down for another one.
She's just petting the top of his head while he eats. Like,
There you go. Yes.
It starts to shrink back down,
Wait, what?
and it falls asleep.
Oh, okay.
she'll
It kind of nuzzling into you as it does.
oh, she'll cradle little ass back into the papoose on the front, and just like let him do a sleep.
You have to. Luckily, the little egg papoose already had like 2 little kicky holes in it. The difficult part is figuring out what to do with the tail. So for now, you just kind of slide the tail through one of the leg holes.
Oh no, she'll cut a little just a very slight hole and be very methodical with Tango Muerte to let the tail come out the butt.
Thump. Kind of digs its claws into your side and starts
like
falling.
a front-facing backpack.
And it goes to sleep.
Nara is full on like beaming.
Well, shall we then?
Yeah.
Right, let us shall.
Yeah, if we can get far enough away to at least get a secure location, we can set up shelter for the night at least.
Was that Mind Flayer alive when Tom was done?
The Mind Flayer is still alive, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to kill Blinky's pet.
Lab
Just give
rat.
him a look.
Besides, it's a mind flayer. It's not people.
All right, you guys make your way back out towards the front entrance that you came in through.
That is true.
You look out into the Valley of Mist that you came through. You don't notice any particular movement, at least immediately.
Is the Valley of Mist like the only path, or is there other geographical features around?
The valley is just the way that you came in here through. You were in a bit of a hurry, so you only really recall the valley. This whole valley might have been carved as a old ornate entryway to this particular building by the Mind Flayers or its colony, or honestly, it's very hard for you to figure out exactly how society works here. But there's always a way, like if you wanted to climb out of the valley and take the land up there, you could.
That might be it.
Yeah,
That
other than
might
that,
be a good idea.
other than that, the valley path is the way that you came in through, that you kind of know the way back from.
So what do you think there? I believe from where we started, we came down here, but there's a forest that we might be able to take shelter in. But that's where the Mind Flayers were previously.
Ah, yes, there is another colony around here, isn't there? If we can get within a few miles of that colony, I think we might be able to make this work.
All right, then let's go.
All right. Which way are you taking? Are you going to try to climb out of the valley, or are you going to walk through the mist?
How tall is the valley?
On each side, looks like maybe about somewhere between 100 and 125 feet. It's not a sheer cliff. It does have a bit of a slant to it, so even without a climb speed, you could probably make it out with a good athletics roll.
I think we could do it. Just get up on the valley, get a better view of everything, and walk along. Plus, the mist just made it hell to walk through. What do you three think?
I could probably get my way up there.
Especially if you had your muscles back. Speaking of which, he points to you and the anti-magic field disappears and your pants all of a sudden feel much tighter around the waist after rehitching the belt.
My boys! Hang on.
Sorry, could have warned you. My bad.
That's okay. And I'll just sort of waddle, turn around, adjust myself, turn back around. Okay. I'm ready to go now.
So we're climbing out of here?
Yeah.
All right. See you at the top. Tom starts just walking up the side of the side of the cliff.
Nara looks up from low ass.
Wait, what are we doing?
We're going up. We're going up.
Okay.
She pulls out her pixie stick and starts flying upwards.
You're on your pixie stick just at casual flying speed. You're probably keeping pace with Tom, who just kind of chuckles as you start floating. He's just casually walking as if gravity doesn't mean anything to him.
I'm going to climb. What's your game plan? Well, you're probably going to climb too.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Denier, I believe you have a climb speed, right?
I sure do.
All right, so Denier's not having any issue, which means Wolfgang, you're the one who needs to make an athletics check.
15.
That's good enough. You're lagging a bit behind everybody else, but you're having to find like little handholds in this. There aren't a lot of great handholds in this rock-like material, which again does not feel very solid. It has this kind of squish to it as you grab it. Not like mushy, but just has a very, like hardened leather sort of feel to it. So it's kind of hard for you to get like good grips here and there as you're making your way up, but you manage. At the top, Nara, Nara and Tom are waiting, and then Denier gets up slightly after them. And maybe about a minute after you guys make it to the top, Wolfgang finally emerges from the depths of the valley. From the top here, you do get a good glimpse at the surrounding area. There are a few more of those mushroom-like rocky trees around, not as dense as the forest. More so, there are some craggy sort of divots in the land in front of you that mist seems to kind of pool in. A lot of you can go ahead and make me perception checks if you want to take a better look around.
Natural 20, 30.
Natural 20.
Wow.
And here comes number 3. 16.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wolfgang, you feel like you get a pretty good sense of the area, though, too. Nara and Denier, as you're kind of glancing around, you do see your little meatball friend floating around in the distance further down the valley. And Nara, you can actually make out what he's shrieking in Undercommon as eye beams are going off left, right.
Die! Die, peons! I am the greatest!
She just like interlaces her fingers.
Called it.
Denier, as you glance around, you see a number of those brain birds floating, kind of nesting, for lack of a better word, kind of dangling from the underbelly of those mushroom rocks. They don't seem to have taken notice of anything just yet. They do kind of like twitch every now and again. Further, you see some of those little tentacle roots kind of like swirling around and sometimes coming out of those little misty pools.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfgang, you see those as well. So, make our way back to the forest then, shall we?
That's the idea. We probably want to take take a bit of a long way around so that we don't catch Blinky's gaze. But we also got to be careful with those things up there.
A good call.
The brains with the beaks.
You feel your bodies becoming slightly mist-like as Tomcast has passed without a trace. So each of you have advantage on your stealth checks. Or is it? It's not advantage. It's a +5 or something, right?
Plus 10.
Yeah, +10 on your stealth checks. So go ahead and make your stealth checks.
Arguably might be better than just advantage, but
Yep.
you know.
18.
Unless that happens.
21.
30.
Nice. All right, Denier, you're still kind of like clumping around a little bit, but luckily the spell seems to help you out a little bit in that regard as you start to make your way back towards the rock mushroom forest. So, I was thinking for this last little stretch, we may as well take advantage of who we have with us here. See, we need a bit of information from these elder brains, and yes, along with you, I have very little desire to go storm the fortress myself. You see him kind of like working with these rods, kind of like crafting them as you guys are walking, bending them to his will and just reshaping them. So,
Yikes.
he takes one of the rods, which has now been formed into a halo, places it around your hat, Wolfgang. I was thinking... As he continues to make a few more, he makes 2 smaller sticks, and he places them in your hair, and are kind of like you have your current...
My hair sticks.
Hair sticks.
Oh, these are nice.
That instead of storming the castle directly, we could hit him. And he places a kind of a very... He starts like really manipulating this one, a couple of these rods. And he hands Denier, in the shape of a plague doctor's mask, these rods.
Wow. Intricate.
Straight in their dreams. And he smiles. And here's where we will end today's session.